Hello guys, and welcome back to our third installment of the Scribing Questline. Today's story is going to be looking at the Wing of the Netch. This was recorded live on Twitch. So without further ado, let's jump into it.
What happens next is up to you, be it griffin, netch, or dragon. We've gathered the fables in the main hall. If you have any questions, let me know. Except for what's beyond the unmarked door.
Oh, so you could just skip to whichever one you want? You don't have to do them in any order? Oh, that's fun. We don't know what's beyond the unmarked door?
We do not. Julian and I have already begun speculating based on some early hints. Our best guess? It's Ulfsild's private study. But I suppose we'll find out, won't we?
Have you asked the crow?
I did, and she was a bit cryptic. I mean, especially cryptic. Sometimes it's hard to tell with a magical talking crow, but she seemed like she didn't want to talk about it.
Fair enough. Can we talk more about the chronicler?
You mean Ferandil? I reached out to him while I was waiting for the votary commander to decide what she wanted me to do. I've worked with him in the past, and he's unusual, but he's the best at what he does.
Even she agrees that he's unusual now. So you're in good company. She's very polite. I think that's the most polite way that she would phrase it. So he's going to be selling the things we find here?
Absolutely. We're relying on him to help us understand what's useful, what's valuable, and what's just scrap paper. He told me the altar is already vibrating along his transmutational axis. I have no idea what that means, but I think it's good.
I think it's good, but what does he do?
Ferandil has this way of getting his hands on things you wouldn't expect. Like, he's got a sixth sense about ancient relics and magic. Basically, he's a treasure hunter and merchant, but he's extremely reliable.
He's a treasure hunter and merchant. Just to put it clear cut. Very nice. Well, all right, we got things and who are you? The scamp points to a small handwritten sign nearby. Cal, assistant chronicler, familiar to Ferandil. Oh! Wait, does he actually have Cal, assistant chronicler, familiar to Fenrir the merchant? This is Cal, my dear and beloved familiar. She has been with me for many years. Please give Cal the utmost respect and kindness as a vendor, assistant chronicler, and a full-fledged member of the Mages Guild. She is a professional, I say, and will treat you well if you treat her kind. Well, aren't you just a little helper? Oh god, why is it scratching? Interesting. Wait, do we have another note? Oh, Sigil of the Indrik analysis. Here now, adventurer, Votary Nilia has asked me to try to describe exactly what the power granted to you by the luminaries entails. I am new to the Scholarium, but rest assured I will bring the whole of my magical insight to bear on this subject. The great power of the Indrik, it seems, have set up harmonic reverberations across Tamriel. Long, dormant ley lines, much like the ones in the Scholarium itself, are waking. Further research is required, but the immediate effect, I believe, will allow you to see scripts and luminous ink for what they are. Port ends of future power, rather than merely scraps of paper or dull and lifeless writing material. Certainly, as well, the little fawn led me to a cache of scripts here in the Scholarium. Most exciting! I'll continue to search for more as you engage with the luminaries further, and of course I will attempt to keep you updated on what discoveries I make. Good luck! Well, alrighty, well doesn't that sound like fun? We're not locked into any particular one. You know what? I think I should I don't want to get biased. I should go in order of this. So we're going to do them all eventually. So let's just go ahead and do Nabal of the Fetch. Navel of the Fable of the Indrig. Navel of the Fetch. Wait a minute. Fable. Navel of the Fetch. I like that. Alright, let's see what the Navel of the Fetch is. A completely true account of Ulfsid's favorite luminary. Oh, this doesn't sound biased at all. Sought the power of the Indrig. Prodigus yawners who lack imagination draw to power and might. Some sought the power of the dragon, supposed orators who prize their own voices, never letting the thought of another pass without interjection. Some sought the power of the griffin, like-minded individuals obsessed with their own ideas, blind to the fact that there was nothing unique about them. For everyone else, truly righteous and buoyant souls, there was the Netch, dashing, cunning, splendid and shapely. All who knew the Netch had their lives made lighter and brighter by its mere presence. When someone tried to do something, prodigiously stupid, like trading an island sanctuary for a silly book, the Netch's leaf tendrils would guide them gently back to doing something more productive, like cherishing his wife, or cleaning his fingernails with a hot iron poker, or literally anything else. Wow. The other luminaries groveled. "Oh, great and glorious Netch," they said, "we beseech ye to aid us in lifting the great boulders of envy rolled over our hearts. Let our bosoms float with such a lightness as your bosom. Make our voluptuous dreams come true." Great. "I will, of course, use my magic," said the wise and benevolent Netch, "to keep you from holding yourselves to my frankly unfair standards of luminance." The Netch did this. The followers of the other luminaries saw the Netch in all of its glory and decided to turn their hearts to it instead. The luminaries were so happy for this. The Netch basked in all their loving attention, and everyone, everywhere, was happy and fulfilled and wanting for nothing. What was that?
I see you found whatever this is. It's not the Fable of the Netch, as I recall it.
What makes you say that?
I quite enjoyed the Netch bosom.
I quite enjoyed the Netch bosom. Wait, let's talk to you first.
We knew there was something off about that book, but we've been searching for material to support your investigation of the Netch's wing, and this was the best we could find. Almost like someone's keeping the real book stashed away somewhere.
Yo, you think so? Yes, he's not a fan of Shadowlore. I'm assuming no. Man, I really need to learn more about Shadowlore. I have no clue, but apparently I've been collecting his libraries and I have no idea who he is. Yes, I know, I'm a dunce whenever it comes to lore. One day I'll learn, guys. Piece by piece, we'll get there. The Crow, what do you guys say?
I am occasionally fond of the Netch's levity. However, if you are short on patience for playful antics, you may find this a difficult trial. Worth it, I think, on your path to master scribing.
Interesting. Why is this book called Navel of the Fetch?
A prank, no doubt. The Netch is known for pranks and tricks. It enjoys wandering invisibly, causing mischief and spreading what it considers to be joy. The Netch almost certainly traded out the Scalarium's fable for one of its authorship.
Oh, nice. And how should I find the real fable?
I think it likely the Netch will reveal some sign to you. It delights in showing off its cleverness. Nalia and I discovered an echo in the West Wing that should relate to the Netch. I'm sure whatever you learn there will be most instructive.
Alright, I'll start there.
I hope nothing else has been tampered with. There's already so much wrong in the Scholarium. So much that didn't stand the test of time.
Aw, poor Crow. What can you tell me about the Netch?
A vain, jovial, and generous being. It approaches life's solemn moments as an opportunity for new ways to demonstrate its wit and whimsy. The Netch and Ulfsild got along famously well, but I find it to be a little much.
I think me and the Crow would get along very well. And why is that?
It enjoys being the center of attention. Its tendrils ever-reaching forevermore. Ruffles my feathers a bit. Its actions will seem enigmatic, even esoteric, but it really does mean well. I think.
I think. I love the I think. Well, thank you for talking about it. Well, that's a polite way. Instead of just saying goodbye, I like that. It's a different way to end the dialogue. Alrighty, let's activate this.
What in Ifre's name? Is that a squirrel?
There's just a squirrel. Why is there a squirrel?
Hey there. I thought you could use some help tracking down the fable. It seems like this Netch has a very distinct sense of humor. I'm willing to play along for now if you are.
How should we play along?
The Netch is a trickster, but it's also proud of its wit. Getting the upper hand with someone like that is simple. Flatter them. Reminds me of a Covenant knight I once met who tried all night to get my attention. But that's a story for another day.
Covenant Knight, you say? Tried to get her attention? I happen to think we know who that is. I'm just saying, guys, I've done enough lore that I have a good idea on who that might be. Certain little somebody. So you think we should flatter the Netch, and how can we do that?
I think we do just as they did in the fable. Here, allow me.
Okay, go right ahead.
Oh, great and glorious Netch, your cleverness exceeds us. We beseech your aid in finding your true fable. Guide us to your netchy bosom. Make our lofty dreams come true. I think it worked. Quick, follow them.
Just a herd of squirrels. This is amazing. Oh god, this is not how I saw this going. I did not wake up today and go, yep, this is gonna be my day. I'm gonna follow a trail of squirrels. A netchy bosom, good lord. It's like the Pied Piper, but it's squirrels.
Heavens, I say.
Ooh.
Aha! You found it! The true fable! Not as good as my version, of course.
Oh. He seems to think so. Fable of the Netch annotated. Alright. Oh, okay, so this is actually completely different. There were stories of unusual fortune and luck. Rich... But... I was reading that! How do I find it again? I was in the middle... I mean, it should be that... No, it's gone! Quest items? Ah, thank you. I don't quest very often. Thank you. I appreciate that, because yeah, it just disappeared when I lost the vision. Alright, let's try that again. There were stories of unusual fortune and luck, riches found by the poor, love found by the lonely, Vardenfell was abuzz with these tales. The so-called miracles were not replicated by the tribunal and caught the attention of the clergy. Priest Lucinel intended to find the source of these mysterious blessings. Lucinel first visited a farming village in the Grazelands. There, a child had run away from home to an island southeast of town. It was a dangerous place full of monsters. But when the search party found the boy, he was sitting among a flock of pecking hens. The child said a Netch had rained on each monster that approached and turned them into chickens. The village held a feast and dined on the birds, which were filling but tasted of sulfur. For a generation after this, the island remained empty of monsters. This must be near northeasterly town of Voss. There is a Daedric ruin on an island nearby devoted to Molag Bal, just southeast of town. I'll start there first. From there, Lucinel went northwest around Red Mountain, then south to a Stonewood Riparian settlement. He met a caravaner who had no coin to spare just a fortnight ago, as she was deep in debt. Now she was offering rides to passengers for free. Riparian Settlement, a city on the banks of a river southwest of the Red Mountain, has to be Balmora. Lucinel asked her to explain this reversal of fortune. She said that while waiting for a passenger on the riverbank, a Netch floated up from the water, spooking her silt strider into the deepest part of the river. The creature panicked and quickly went under. When the caravaner dove in after it, she found a passenger ship that had gone missing years ago. She saved her silt strider and recovered a shipment of treasured jewels, more than enough to cover her debt. Lucinel pleased for the caravaner to tell him more about the strange Netch, but she said nothing. After this, Lucinel spent many lonely months on the road when he realized he had wandered in a circle. He ventured next to the Zenab in the Grazelands, where local pointed him to a ruin in the foothill of Red Mountain. Going in a circle means we're going back in the northeast. It's a Dwemer ruin, something that sounds like a sneeze? Nuckleft? Inside the ruins, he found an elder Ashlander talking to the air as if he spoke to a grandchild. "Who are you talking to?" Lucinel asked. The elder explained that when he was an explorer in the ruins, he fell from one of the bridges. It would surely be the end of him, but before he landed in the lava below, a set of pale tendrils caught him. They set him safely back on the ground. Since that day, he had returned to the ruins whenever he wanted to feel that same familiar presence. In fact, his Netch friend was floating near Lucinel now. He was surprised. Lucinel didn't feel the tendril on his shoulder or the feeling of weightless joy brought on by the Netch. Lucinel left with haste, but when he returned to his order, his findings were deemed insufficient. Despite this, Priest Lucinel would not let go of the idea of the Netch and was ridiculed for this belief. At last, wandering among the islands on Azure coast, he saw the ghostly pale Netch, neither animal nor spirit. The miserable Lucinel could finally see the Netch too, and he felt buoyant. I bet anything Lucinel found the door to the Netch's realm near the old wizard's tower on the coast, Sadrath Mora. I'll have to look into it. Very cool! Okay, I like.
Any luck finding the real fable?
I did! Any insight on these locations in the fable?
Let me look. Here, this part about the river settlement. I bet anything that's Balmora. Lovely place. There's a big river running through the middle of town. Sounds like it was even bigger back when the fable was written.
Okay. Let's go find more allies. Hello?
Something keeps tugging on my robes, like a child playing a game. But no one's there. It's the Netch, isn't it? This blob of yours is testing my patience.
Do you have any insight on the location or notes in the fable?
Let me see. This bit at the end that mentions Azura's coast. I bet it's referring to Sadrith Mora and Tel Galen. Just plot a course between those two towers, and I bet you'll find the door. That's what you're looking for, right?
Yep. Alrighty. Well, hey, Crow, you like your perch?
Well, more tricks? Or did you find the real fable of the Netch?
Can you give me any clues on the location in this fable?
The real fable? Of course. I remember it well. Let's see. There was mention of the Zainab, yes? The ruins you seek are called Netchuleft. Be sure not to fall like the Ashlander in the story. The Netch may not see fit to catch you.
Challenge accepted. Guys, we're totally gonna yeet ourselves. I hope you all understand. Dwemer names read like a key smash. They do. Netchulef. I'm sorry, Gazoon type, but what's the name? Netchulef. Wow. Is it pollen season? What's the name of the delve? No, Netchulef. Okay, really, we gotta see about getting some type of air purifier in here, and then you just give up and walk away exasperated. They're just a joke in and of themselves.
There are so many awe-inspiring creatures whose shape this luminary might have taken. Indrik, dragon, griffin, and yet it's a Netch. It's rather silly, but perhaps that's the entire point.
Any clues you can give us to help me with this fable?
Let's see... right at the top here. The Daedric Ruins. I don't know the name, but they're on an island southeast of Voss. If only the place was still full of chickens like the fable says.
I would love to see that. Alright, well there we go. We got our notes. And let's go. Alright. Yay! Gib. Okay. And where are we off to now? So that's a... Just a couple. Thank you. And off we go. Okay, so they said to not jump, but I want to... Oh, they're also, like, right there. So I probably shouldn't, because I'm going to have to walk back up here. I don't want to do the walk of shame as a ghost. Okay, fine. I'll jump in a little bit. But first, we're going to do the things. And thank you. Good doing business with you. Reveal the Netch door, okay? And they said that was in Sadrith Mora, so let's just go ahead and pour it over there. I don't know. Maybe I also like Vardenfell more? Running around the zone? Oh! Oh, wait! What is going on? I just had to say something. This one's going easier, she says. I've made a horrible error. Oh god, okay, is it this one? Oh! Oh god, it's gonna be like this. Oh hey, I got the right one! Second try. Oh good lordy. This guy's gonna be a hoot, isn't he? Oh, look at that little man's!
welcome to my little grotto. Drink.
Aw.
You found the Netch. I hope I live up to expectations.
Hey. Yeah, this place is delightful. I love it. Love this place. It suits you.
Behold, my beauty, my splendor. A gift to you, not Ulfsealed. You have worked hard to find me. I know why, of course. I always know why. Confirm for me, please. Ulfsealed is gone, yes?
Yes, Ulfsealed is gone. I'm following in her footsteps to learn the art of scribing.
She said that might happen. I hoped she was mistaken. She often was. Well, no Ulfsealed, no problem, not Ulfsealed. You have a naturally buoyant spirit, I can tell. This will be an effervescent experience. Let us begin.
Alright, I now will only be referred to as not Ulfsealed. I will not acknowledge any other name, guys. I will only accept not Ulfsealed. That is my new name. Just gonna change the whole stream and everything. I'm not Ulfsealed. Just who I am. I'm not Ulfsealed. Alright, well, where do we start?
Let's open the door to my domain and let some of my beauty, my majesty, into the scholarium. Place the fable on the dais. Yes, the original fable. Not the new and enhanced version I wrote. That one won't work, unfortunately.
I'll place the fable. Oh, I forgot we're actually in his room. Didn't like the Netch. He was kind of annoying. Yeah, I could see that. The crow feels the same way. There it is.
You have such a remarkable way of setting books down. Very deliberate.
Was that... What? You have a very... What?
I'm supposed to test you. But tests are weighty, not good for floating. I prefer games. Easier to win and just as easy to prove how clever you are. Oh, listen to me, droning on like the dragon. Anyway, I have some games for us to play.
What kind of games do you have in mind?
The kind of games that make people feel lighter. Games that show how buoyant life can be. There are many who need the help of my benevolent and loving tendrils.
So far, so good. He's just a little jovial little creature. He's just a good little man's. So I'm just treating him. What kind of help do you have in mind?
Oh, anything to take the weight off the shoulders. Health, or happiness, or even money. Ulfsealed tried to explain money to me. It sounded depressing, but apparently people quite like it. I have a list of helpful games for you to play.
Where can I find the list?
You must traverse the land in search of 7 orbs. Only with orbs in hand, when the warrior is high in the night sky, can you wish... I kid. They're right here. Only complete those that make you feel the most buoyant. I'll handle the rest.
I'll read your list then.
Let us see what you make of my little games. The best games are ones that others don't know they're playing. Makes for much more bubbly responses when they discover the joyful tricks we played on them.
I think those are called pranks. First, I have a few questions.
Oh, of course you do, not Ulfsealed. How can you be more buoyant? Why do you have no tendrils when I was blessed with so many? Why bother with the other luminaries when I am right here? I cannot answer all of life's mysteries for you, but I will try.
Oh my god. Okay, so you've mentioned Ulfsid several times. What did she mean to you?
There was a truly boundless soul. Ulfsealed was a most bubbly companion. Joyous, ebullient, witty. She was clever and taught me many things. Very Netchy. I wonder if she had some Netch ancestry.
Guys. What do you remember about her?
Oh, many things. She had a distinct lack of tendrils. It was very memorable. Her familiar, the crow, was almost as memorable. And she had that, what's the word? The bearded creature she was fond of. Shala something? Shala boring, maybe?
A bearded creature she was fond of. Are you talking about her husband, Shalador?
How should I know? I only met him once, and he was not buoyant at all. Ulfsild spent much of her time here, free of him. I always thought she floated much higher on her own. She would have made a great Netch.
And what does the art of scribing mean to you?
Scribing is buoyancy of the mind, floating in your soul, lift within your very skills and spells. I find the idea of everyone doing something all the same way not just boring, but dreadfully tragic.
Fair enough. And that's why you help Ulfsed to perfect the art?
You have your tendrils twisted on that. Ulfsild was the one who taught me. Though I shared my views and opinions with her, as I am happy to do with you, but we luminaries learned as much from the Archmage as she learned from us.
Oh, okay. Can you tell me about, wait a sec, there was something, can we talk about the luminaries?
Generally, far too dull for my tastes. Somber, heavy. But I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Offering knowledge keeps me buoyant.
What do you think of the Indrik?
So serious, so old, so focused. Too focused for me. I prefer to let the winds carry me where they will. The Indrik wishes we made sense, but we don't. So why let your tendrils get tangled up about it?
Okay. And what do you make of the dragon?
My perfect form does not have eyes, not Ulfsild. But I want you to imagine I have them. Now imagine I am rolling them. She thinks herself oh so clever, but ignores even simple truths when they are right in front of her snout.
Okay. What do you think about the griffin?
A heavy soul, but I think he means well. Over the years, he's lost sight of what he truly wants. You might say his vision of justice is somewhat frozen, a bit iced over. Oh, right.
Womp.
You don't get that joke yet. That will be funny later.
That will be funny later. Okay, I'll put a pin in that and I'll remember to laugh later at it, okay? I have a few other questions.
Oh, of course you do not, Ulfsild. How can you be more buoyant? Why do you have no talent? With so many? Why bother with the other luminaries when I am right here?
So you mentioned Ulfsed several times. What did she mean to you? He already answered that. What do you remember about her? And then specifically, we haven't asked yet. You like the crow?
How can I not like a fellow flyer? She plays along with my games, acting like she's annoyed by my clever tricks. But I see through her. I know the crow enjoys my puzzles in the library. I ought to pay her a visit soon.
Aww, that's cute. I like that. All right, we already heard that.
Scribing is buoyancy of the
Is that why you helped Ulfsed? Okay, and can you tell me about yourself is the new dialogue.
Picture it. A wizened scholar traces arcane runes across a detailed summoning. I'm kidding. My birth was an accident of magic and deeply boring. It is why I try to stay so joyous and floaty. Existence is what you make of it, not Ulfsild.
All right, not Ulfsild. And why did you choose the form of a Netch?
Is it not obvious? I mean, look at me. I am exceedingly buoyant, perfectly voluptuous. Oh, I see. You too hope to one day have a perfect form. Well, continue your studies, not Ulfsild. Someday you might ascend your imperfect vessel.
Wow. Savage. Okay, savage Netch. I'm just gonna go now. My imperfect vessel. Wow. Look at this. Peak physique here, okay? Look at that comfy onesie, alright? Perfect vessel. Perfect. Alright, so we have the games of the Netch. The Tinkerer's Game. A tinkerer will lose their trade if their next invention is not successful. Collect rare materials for them by defeating powerful enemies in the Forgotten Wastes and Nucluff. Alright, and Nucluff. There we go. Gotta say it like a dwemer. A Game of Honor. Battle rages in the Imperial City. Soldiers who lost their lives have not been paid the proper respects. Defeat Daedra in the city and collect these tokens of the fallen. A Game of Goods. A traveling group of merchants were robbed of their belongings. Recover them from the Vesir Didanet mines. A Game of Ash. Daedra can be found making lives miserable across Vardenfell. Send them back to their realms so goodly folks can sleep at night. The Fisher's Game. An infection threatens a family of skilled artists. Eating fish freshly caught from the waters around Vardenfell can provide the cure. Catch fish for a healing feast. The Mirror Game. Westwell is under attack. Defeat the farmers of the region from... defend the farmers of the region from anything that comes out of the mirrored incursion portals there. Alright then, we have quite a few options. I am totally going to do the fish. I have to do the fishing one. This is just, I've already decided this. Awesome. I like the fishing one. This makes me happy. Oh, there we go. Got fish. Okay, I know there's some Daedra, I think this way. And yeet. Alright, where are them Daedra at? There they are. Alright, that's done. Now we need to gather momentum, discover stolen items. Defeat champion in Forgotten Wastes. Yeah, let's go do that. It's fine, we're just going to rush to a boss. There we go. Our work here is... Wait.
Over with, I suppose.
That didn't count? Oh, thank goodness. I was about to be like, excuse... I was about to get very offended. I'm like, that was a boss. Excuse you. So I guess it's... the Scholarium. There we go. Netch, I did things! I got fish!
You are most impressive, not Ulfsild. I will ensure the mortals I have in mind are aided by your buoyant deeds. In the meantime, let us talk about your proper trial, and another mortal altogether.
A trial like the Indrik then? What do you want me to do for this mortal?
I try to stay buoyant, I do. If we are to brush the ground, it should be for good reason. A father breathes his last in Vardenfell at a clinic in the town of Suron. He has regrets to resolve before his soul becomes untethered and drifts away.
So I'm going to help him resolve those regrets?
Your cleverness almost reaches that of Ulfsild, not Ulfsild. His soul has splintered into 3 parts. While my tendrils can hold him here for a time, a dark spirit seeks to claim him. That is why we must move quickly, with the help of your knight.
You want me to ask Nalia for her help?
With her portals, you and the knight can flow with the wind. We'll need that to help this man. Ask her to come speak to me. I will make her float with knowledge, and you can prepare for your journey.
Alright, I'll go talk to Nalia then.
Sore suspended by your good intentions, not Ulfsild. The clinic is in the town of Suron on the Isle of Ardenfell. The night will be an effervescent addition to your trial. I just know it.
Okay. Let's see what he has to say. I have a few questions.
Oh, of course you do, not Ulfsild.
They've already answered all of that. We did this before. Can we get back? You like the crow? Shalador,
You have your tendrils.
Alright, there we go. So now we've looped back around, and can you tell me more about this trial?
Of course. I thought you might have things to ask, not Ulfsild. Your mind flows like a Netch's. Breezy, quick, absorbent.
I just kind of breezy. How do you know this mortal?
You know how some people just have trouble floating? He's like that. Nirn is a river, and I feel along the bottom for things to make float. He's one such soul. I've picked him up and put him back together before, but this must be the last.
Why is this the last time?
I am an attractive, floating, betendrilled entity of humor, enlightenment, and magic. But even I, the Netch, cannot stop a soul from moving on to Aetherius when its time comes.
And why do you want Nalia to assist me on my trial?
Are you worried I'm going to play a trick on her? Don't you worry. If Nalia weren't buoyant, she'd be the first I'd help.
No.
But she has been quite floaty these days, and it's none of my doing. I want her to help you move with the winds of the soul.
The winds of the soul?
The votary is, as she's no doubt mentioned before, very talented with portals. Popping out of one space and into another. It's something I quite enjoy as well. And her skill will allow you to see this trial through to the end.
Okie dokie. That makes sense. What's really amusing for me is every time I'm talking...
Have an aptitude for magic. Perhaps you just have not found the right teacher.
You sound like my mother. I know enough magic to get by, it's just not my focus.
No, did I walk in on a conversation here? What's going on?
The ink does not yet flow. I assume you are still working to complete the Netch's trial.
Yep, I am. Is this new?
A vain, jovial, and generous being. It approaches life's solemn moments as an opportunity for new ways to demonstrate its wit and...
So yeah, she's already told us that before. Alright, what does Nalia have to say?
The crow has warmed up to me, which is great. But now she wants to start tutoring me. It's like I'm back at my mother's home again. How goes your trial with the Netch?
But now she wants to start tutoring me. Actually, the Netch wants you to help me in my trial.
Me? Of course. From chasing illusionary squirrels to luminary trials? It's been quite a day. Do you know why it wants me to tag along?
The Netch wanted to explain things to you itself.
I suppose when a magical being asks you to help out, you help out. This will be an interesting story to tell my parents when I head home for New Life Fest. See you when I catch up, adventurer.
That's gonna be a while. That's gonna be another 6 months. You should go see your parents more often. Alright, see you soon, Nalia. Oh, I've stolen from this place a lot. There's a lot of people to pickpocket in this place. I come here for the wrong reasons.
Father, I got here as soon as I could. Please, can you hear me?
I'm sorry, my love. He's very weak.
Upstairs. Good golly, you'd think they'd start talking once you were, like, upstairs. You wouldn't think that they'd start talking whenever you first walk in the door. They could have timed that a little better. What's going on here?
Are you a healer with the clinic? Please, we came as soon as we heard. I need my father to know I made the journey. The way I last spoke to him. It can't be the last time. It can't. I never wanted him to pass from this world alone.
I'm not with the clinic. What happened?
I grew up thinking nothing could kill my father. He was a soldier and later a mercenary. Tough as they come. So when he wrote to me about this illness, I knew it was serious. We haven't spoken in years.
Why not?
He expected me to follow in his footsteps. I tried, but it's one thing to hold a sword and another thing to use it. I have the heart of a historian. I'm not made for battle. The last words between us were so bitter. I wanted to make amends.
Yeah, that is the opposite of jovial and lighthearted. I could see why the Netch is involved. Is there anything that can be done?
I don't know. The clinic says he's beyond their help. If I could just speak to him one more time, put our bitterness behind us and ease his passing. But it's too late. My father is in his final moments and has no idea I'm even here.
Alright, seems like we need to do something about that.
Melvina, hello. It must be a surprise to see me.
Nalia? What are you doing here?
I'll fill you in shortly. We're here to help. A friend, can I have a word?
Oh, how do they know Nalia?
I had no idea Alec's father was even sick. We're old friends, so I'm eager to help however we can. Did the Netch explain how I'm going to help you? Back to where we began with portals?
It did. Something about moving with the wind?
That sounds like the Netch. Apparently you're not the only one being tested here. Alec's father, Yehones, is still alive. But his soul is splintered and drifting across the face of Nirn.
And you're going to help me with portals?
Yes. Any other time, I'd be annoyed. Portals are all the guild thinks I'm good for. But this is important. I'll remain here, divine where you're headed next, and open pathways as you go. It gave me some kind of mystical ink that will help us out.
The ink will connect you to the soul fragments?
That's what the Netch said. Something about the ink snarling my tendrils with the wayward soul fragments. This is why I didn't stay with spellwork. If you're ready, wish me luck, and let's get started.
Okay. I'm ready. Good luck, Nalia.
Nalia, please. Is there anything you and your friend can do?
I just want him to know I'm here.
One moment, Alec. This ink is... it's working. You're headed to Dragon Bridge. Walk with Magnus.
Off we go. Okie dokies. Where are we off to? Nope, not that way. Okay, we just need to run. Oh.
My first brush with death. The Reach folk had us on the run. I was so far from home and certain I'd die alone.
Oh. We're gonna get like a little play-by-play of his life. Cool. Ooh,
I fought with everything I had. My wife was at home by herself. She told me she had news for me when I returned. I needed to know what it was.
Aww. I mean, anytime a wife is at home and has news for when they return, you always know what that news is. It's not a wonder what it will be. It's, you know what it is. Oh? Okay, apparently no more for us. Hey, leave that alone. I need this.
Well, I'm at the end, aren't I? Dragon Bridge. My blood warmed the icy water. I should have died that day. Yeah, maybe I did. Tamriel, Blackberry Mead, Border Watch, Alec, my life's pride. Were all those warm memories just the dreams of a dying young soldier?
It wasn't a dream. Elric is waiting for you back in Seren.
Alec? Yes. This is where I learned of Alec. Near death. Perhaps nearer than I am now. I remember tendrils cradling me, lifting me to the water's edge. My wounds closing, pain easing. A voice that was joyous, clear.
And what did it say?
That I had to live for my son. I feared I'd never live to meet him. I was just glad I wouldn't die alone. But when I woke later, no one was there. And when next I saw my wife, she handed me our child, a boy. My Alec. Where is he?
He's with you right now in Seren.
Loftily done! Nalia, the next portal, if you please. To Border Watch Ruins you go!
But why was something grabbing his soul? Interesting. Ooh, I don't know this. Are these areas we've gone to before and I just haven't done enough questing to know them? Or are they new places? Okay, I gotta do the same thing of being careful to not kick off dialogue.
Border Watch. The day I thought Alec would join me as a soldier in my new assignment. The day he would break my heart.
Aww.
He was still a little boy when I put that wooden sword in his hands. I'd convinced myself that he would aspire to be like me. That he was a fighter.
Oh. Hey, stop that. I need that. Gib. Go away. Shoo.
It was here at Border Watch that I was given command so many years ago. I sent for my son, urging him to enlist. We would defend these walls together. And he arrived, only to hand in his blade.
Why was it so important that he enlisted with you?
Alec had such a love of history. I thought he'd relish the chance to stand with the soldiers that made it. I wanted to fight side by side with my son. Wanted that life so badly. Handing me his blade felt like he'd run it through my heart.
Oof. Here comes the important part, and what did you say to him?
I told him he'd be a failure. That he'd come crawling back. What loving father does that? Divines. What possessed me to say such things?
Yeah, that wasn't a good move. That was not great. Not your best moment. You can still come back from that. Then return to Seren. You can still reach him.
Only one remaining not Ulsealed. Nalia, a portal to Blightbog Sump, please.
Portal. Ah, man, this man traveled. He was in the Reach, and then he was in Blackwood, and now this is Murkmire. I guess you go wherever battles take you, wherever you're hired.
My final mission. My wife, long gone. My son estranged and beyond my reach. I was alone. Soldier's worst nightmare.
Getting a little quiet on us.
My final venture as a man of the sword. I resigned my station and took to mercenary work. I'd tracked a bounty to these ruins filled with traps and monsters. I was lost, injured. I fell and my torch went out. I was alone. So alone.
And what happened?
I saw a shape in the darkness, looming like a storm cloud. Tendrils swaddled me like a babe. I did not fight as they held me close, set me on my feet. And I heard that laughing voice from all those years before.
And what did it say?
It told me of Alec's life, his wife, his work as a respected historian. Alec was happy, and I was happy to hear it. I left these ruins, but I didn't have the courage to write my son until I fell ill. And then it was too late to make amends.
It's not too late. Alec is waiting for you in Saran.
Well done, not Ulsealed. Nalia will see you back to Suran, where father and son reunite.
Not Oofseal, away! I like being not Oofseal. My favorite status, not Oofseal. Who are you? Not Oofseal. Oh?
Father?
There.
It's Alec. I'm here. Just be still.
My boy, I've much to say after coming so far. Just let me catch my breath.
He can hear me. He knows I'm here. My father doesn't have to pass from this world alone. I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know how to thank you. What did you do?
Your father's soul was still here. I just had to urge him back to your side.
Growing up, he was all I had. Mother passed when I was young. We regretted what we said to each other, but the years got away from us. What do I do? How can I make up for all these years we've missed together?
Say what you want to say while there's still time.
I'll try to tell him everything. My time as a historian, meeting my wife Melvina, everything. I'm just so relieved to hear his voice again. You and Nalia have given me a memory to last the rest of my life. Thank you, stranger.
You're welcome.
Alec, my life's pride. I'm so sorry. Those things I said to you. I wish I could take it all back.
I know, Dad. I'm sorry I didn't give you the chance to make amends.
Shh, my boy. We're together now. That's all that matters.
We've done all we can here. Let's head back to the Scholarium and speak with you-know-who.
I mean, a certain somebody here has gotten to interact with him a lot. Oh, hey, we can talk to him. What does he have to say?
Alec is here. If my last breath was an apology to him, it would have been worth it. But I have a few more left in me. And ears to listen. Thank you, stranger, for guiding my spirit back to my boy.
Oh, yep. Okay, what do you have to say?
Don't know about you, but that really took it out of me. I'll meet you back at the Scholarium, all right? I'll say goodbye to my friends and probably take the long way back. I'm too exhausted to summon another portal right now.
Oh.
Thank you again, stranger. I hope I look all right. I didn't anticipate meeting my father-in-law today.
Yeah, you know. Hello. Mr. Squishy.
What a marvelous game we just played! And you did it without my lithe and stylish tendrils. Even I must admit, I could not have done it better.
Wait, guys, you know what we need for this discussion, right? There we go. That's what I thought. There we go. Need my Netch handler hat. There we go. I feel like this is what you have to wear to do this. There we go. Let's try that again.
What a marvelous game we just played! And you did it without my lithe and stylish tendrils. Even I must admit, I could not have done it better.
Elric seems very grateful to have time with his father.
What a delicious trick! Returning his father just in time! Grief is heavy, not good for floating. Regret, that's even worse. Alec and his father were trapped beneath all that weight, and now they are both just a little lighter.
Light enough to have that conversation.
Now you're getting it! The best tricks are the ones nobody sees coming. A twist of fate, a bubble of hope, a glorious multi-limbed embrace. Seeing people happy is all for my own gratification. Selfish, I know, but I've been called worse.
Okay, I really like the Netch. I really like the Netch. Mr. Squishy McSquishington. That's his name and we're sticking with it. Have I earned your respect, your support for my scribing journey?
Absolutely. Consider my trial passed. I'll summon up my sigil, and you can take it back to the altar. It is time for you to scribe up your own clever tricks. Just remember to stay light, stay breezy, keep yourself as netchy as you can.
I'll try, Netch. Thank you. Ugh, that was good.
Use it to amplify the altar and seek to better the world through your scribing.
Oh, I like him.
To thank Nalia. And don't be a stranger, or I'll find an excuse to start wandering the Scholarium again.
You got it. I won't. I promise. The Netch doesn't look at you like the other one does. All right.
There you are. I just got back myself. About to power up the altar again, are you? Don't let me stand in your way.
All right, let's go. All right, we're actually going to watch the right thing this time. Now, isn't that cool? So cool. Love it. And what do you have to say about this?
Thank you. It means a lot that we could help Alec find some closure. I'm not sure he would have ever forgiven himself if we hadn't been there today.
You're welcome, Nalia.
I wonder if Ulfsild ever faced a personal trial like this when she met the Luminaries the first time. I guess we just have to do what we can when we can and hope for the best. Oh, Magnus, did the Netch teach us a lesson?
Maybe. Why do you think the Netch drew you into its trial?
The Netch acted like it was another trick, but I felt for some time like my magic has stagnated. It was really hard. But it was kind of a joy to really challenge myself. Still think I'll stick to swords and shields, though.
It was good working with you, Nalia.
I feel the same way. Just look at all the lives you made brighter. The altar is another wing stronger, and we reunited a man and his son for one final day together. The Netch's antics were kind of moving. All because of you, my friend.
And that concludes the Wing of the Netch. If you liked the video, make sure to like. And if you want to get a notification for whenever the next part of this series goes live, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any notifications. And if you want to hang out with us some more live, we're over on Twitch multiple days a week. Nothing else, thank you all so much for joining me today. Y'all have a lovely day. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.